Okay, we are live. We are live with a bit of a pregame show. The show is officially scheduled for 5 o'clock, and this is part two. If you didn't watch part one, you might want to tune it in. And we've got about a 14-minute pregame show coming your way. And this is part two on the discussion on the current Rolex bubble, the mass hysteria that is in the Rolex market, especially in the steel sport model Rolex models, but it's spreading into other models as well. And the reason that I say that this is a bubble is there are a lot of speculators in the space that are in the space simply for money go up. And when you see that in a situation, when you see a lot of people piling in because the prices have been doing nothing but going up on anything, whether it be real estate, whatever, you you have the definition of a bubble. I mean, this is how they are built. They're built with speculators coming in and hoping that what has been happening will continue to happen basically forever, right? And that is a lot of people that are not end users of Rolexes buying up the Rolexes, as many as they can get their hands on, because they think the prices are going to go up. And I'm not talking about legitimate collectors that are simply buying a particular watch for a quote collection that they will keep indefinitely. Those people really don't care about the value because they're not planning on selling the watch. Okay. They're not the people I'm talking about. The people that I'm talking about are the people that buy the watches specifically because they're quote an investment or they believe they will go up in price. And there seem to be a disproportionate number of those individuals in the market right now. It seems to be really overheating with speculators. And usually that sort of thing does not end well. We've got a noob in the market, in the market, in the chat, watching a noob. We've got Dave Williams, who's far from a noob. And yeah, whoever this is a noob. Okay. All right, whatever all that means. So you've tuned into the right place if you want TV that is worth watching, TV that is worth watching. And I have to say, the lovely Lady Brianna, and here's a tweet from her. The lovely Lady Brianna won the competition and got a 700 and some odd dollar free ticket to the Bitcoin conference, which is going to be happening in April in Miami. She was in a contest and she won. And so she's got a free ticket to the conference. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. She was planning on going anyway. So this way, at least she doesn't have to buy a ticket. She has to buy lodging still and pay her other expenses, but at least she saved, I think it was like $760 or something. But I think you can buy it at discount for 500 and something if you pay in Bitcoin. So anyway, it's at least a $500 value that she won. So congratulations to the lovely Lady Brianna for that. And let me see if there's anything else in the tabs here that we should be showing. Let's see here. What was this? Oh yeah, we did that. And we talked about this stunner, the Birch. Let's see here. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the 009.
We are very happy for having Bria around. Very happy and very proud. Over.
And there you go. And now that, by the way, is the Zello, Zello app that you can get on your iOS device or your Android device. And it's billed as a walkie-talkie app in those app stores, but it's really a lot more than that. And here's what it looks like. You can not only have verbal discussions, but you can also share photographs. You can share photos, text messages, and you can talk like a walkie-talkie, just like Carlos just did. So really versatile. And that is, he is on the watches channel. You can create channels in Zello, and there's one called the watches channel. So if you sign up for Zello, get a free account, it's all free. Everything I'm talking about is free. Get a free account, and then you can go and you can add the watches channel to your Zello account, and you can monitor that channel and participate in it. You can also monitor other channels. You can monitor multiple channels at the same time. I'm monitoring like 7 different channels, including the Grand Seiko channel. There's a Grand Seiko channel. And so Rocky Raccoon's in the house. Got called by the AD for a blue dial Yachtmaster 40 yesterday. Collect tomorrow. Whoa. Excellent. Excellent. Hopefully you can flip that puppy for a profit, Rocky. And if you keep it, wouldn't be the worst watch in the world to keep. That's one of my favorite Rolexes. One of my favorite Rolexes is that puppy there. You should share a photo when you get it. Hey, get in the watches channel on Zello and share a photo. Jason's in the house. Speaking of sharing photos, he shared the photo of this puppy here that he picked up the other day, the SLGA 009 Stunner. And he shared a photo of that in the Zello app. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can scroll back that far. How long ago was it that you posted a picture, Jason? Keep scrolling back here and see if I can find one. There's just too much activity in here. Let me show you what I'm scrolling through. There's just too much activity in here. Look at that Rolex somebody shared. Oh, geez. That's too much. And they're talking about whiskey and all kinds of things. They don't just talk about watches in here. They talk about a lot of fascinating things. Oh, speaking of fascinating things, there's the Stunner, the 002 Stunner, when I checked in this morning with the 002 Stunner that's on my wrist as we speak. And, we talked about Michael Saylor and his day date, his platinum day date. Anyway, that's what we got. That's what we got. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with everything going on in the watches.
Stunning
Oh, there we
alert,
go.
stunning alert on what channel?
Look at that.
Stunning alert.
Look at that. Look at that. How stunning is that? Wow. But that looks like that was taken about an hour ago. About an hour ago, right? So interesting. Very interesting. And that is the watches channel. You guys be there or be square. And Kyle's in the house. And they say, "What's up, Kyle?" Okay, so so yeah, I think that's where we are with the Rolex market. And Rich tried to make the argument this is different. That because watches are no longer a necessity, people don't have to wear watches. A lot of people just use their cell phone or their computer to check the time or whatever. That now watches are solely in the realm of a collectible, that's what they all are, and that's why people buy them. Yeah, but I explained to him that there's a big difference between somebody collecting and somebody speculating. There's a big difference. When you're speculating and then you think the market is getting soft and then everybody tries to start selling at the same time, that's how we have a crash or a major adjustment in the value. We were also talking in the in the watches channel about fashion. So I put on one of my older sport coats that was made in the late 70s that has 4-inch lapels. Normally I would go for 3.5-inch lapels. These are a little wider than I normally would go for, but they're pretty conservative style. And this jacket is just so comfortable. It's one of my most comfortable jackets. It is cashmere, and it just fits beautifully. It's got enough space in the arms that it doesn't bind. I can even wear French cuffs with it. It's got enough room in the sleeve for French cuffs. A lot of my jackets do not. Sport coats do not. A lot of times sport coats are not designed for French cuffs because you really shouldn't be wearing French cuffs with sport coats. That's a little bit over the top. But this one does have room for it. And so I can wear the French cuffs with this sport coat. So it is, even though the lapels are wider than I would want, it is one of my favorites. And I did buy the first few suits that I bought were designer suits. One of them was a Pierre Cardin. One of them, I forget what the other designer name was. This was before I knew any better. And I bought him at a discount place called Sims, where his motto was the educated consumer is our best customer. And he sold a lot of like designer type stuff, Christian Dior and all this stuff. And sometimes at pretty heavy discounts. And I learned why after I bought a few suits there that it's really not the way to go. No wonder he was discounting them. So even the one that I showed a picture of the other day where I had a mustache and I was wearing some designer suit, um, that suit I didn't keep very long. I finally learned my lesson and started buying like Walter Morton and Brooks Brothers and then Oxford and the really conservatively styled suits. Even an aquascutum suit that I bought was a little bit on the trendier side. I did like that suit though; it was pretty nice, but it was not totally conservative. Okay, so let's see. We've got some more comments here. Kyle in the house. Um, well, iced date just for the Porsche. I declined. Smart move. Okay. So Craig, possibly the Rolex market is going down as we speak. Well, I don't know about that. It might. I don't think we've seen the crash yet that I'm talking about. Maybe there's a little adjusting, but the crash I'm talking about is going to be epic. You're going to be hearing about it big time. Carlos has announced, we love Rich. We accept him as he is. He used to take very bad decisions on the past, but now he's a new man. Um, and Rich has made monumental watch decisions the last couple of days. There you go. Rocky, wait, that is amazing. Okay. Um, what dial? I wish I would have picked one up when they offered them to me. Okay, so what's Rocky getting? I don't understand. Did I miss something here? Where's the comment by Rocky? Oh, Rocky. Thanks, David. Will do. Congrats. Oh, the Yacht Master. Yeah, he's getting the Yacht Master. Well, yeah, I mentioned that. That's and he's getting the blue dial. He's getting the blue dial. So that is stunning. That is stunning, a stunning piece. That is a do everything all around piece. I think aren't they only about 12 mils thick? Can somebody let me know in the chat the thickness of those? And they've got basically the same case shape as a Daytona. They've got a really good case shape. I have to clean my glasses. This is terrible. I have to clean my glasses. Let's do a time check. Okay, that's a little better. And I'll tell you what, that's the other thing. The damn plastic lenses that they came out with.
Rocky, that is CraigShip certified approved.
There you go. And that was in the Watches channel. We're monitoring the Watches channel here in the live show, just so you guys know. So the glasses. You know, years ago, they came out with these plastic lenses. What he's keying his mic. He's not saying anything. Carlos is keying his mic. I think Carlos has had too much whiskey today. Somebody did complain, by the way, about piping the Watches channel into the live show. They said it was, quote, distracting. Okay, sorry about that. But we have a lot of fun on the Watches channel. And is Rocky here yet? Is what Kyle just asked in the chat.
Sorry, I have been infiltrated. Sorry.
Okay. So the plastic lenses, I mean, you know, they all touted these as being a big breakthrough. You know, they're lighter weight, they're all this stuff. To me, they're very difficult to keep clean. There's something about them that they're harder to keep clean than just the old-fashioned glass lenses that we used to have back in the day. Do you guys have that same experience? Like I used to wear Ray-Ban sunglasses all the time back in the day, and they were always glass lenses, and they were really easy to clean. These plastic things, thumbs down on that. Let's see. What have you seen out there in the Rolex market, Tim? Craig, did Triforce buy a day date? I don't think so. Craig, on watch charts, the Rolex sub 16610 sold price is trending down. Interesting. And RWAG says, hi, Craig and all gang. A little late as I just got back from snowmobiling on Frozen Lake Freeman. Fun stuff. Oh, that does sound like fun. You should take a picture when you're doing something like that and share it in the Watches channel. Share it in the Watches channel. Let's see here. Congrats on the Yachtmaster amazing piece. Yes, they are. I missed that too. The blue is awesome. It would be my pick. Carlos is butt dialing. He's liquor dialing. Some experience with the plastic lenses. They're always dirty. Same experience and tough to wipe clean. Sounds fun. Our wags. Yeah. So Carlos has been talking a lot about whiskey lately in the channel, and I do have to say this has to be a disclaimer here. I do not encourage the purchasing of and the consuming of liquor. We don't want to influence the kids to become severe alcoholics. Carlos seems to have a lot of fun with it, but it's not something that we would like to encourage on the channel. But it is what it is. So let's see. I think we're caught up. We're caught up. And anybody that is watching right now or listening that is not part of the Watches channel, that are not part of the Watches channel, it's very easy to become a part of that. All you have to do.
This is Carlos. This is Carlos. Please, we don't encourage the use of whiskey for whatever, but we encourage the use of it for increase creativity.
There you go. Case in point, why you should be careful with your liquor. All right. So you can be part of this Watches channel by simply downloading the Zello app. It's Z as in zebra, Zello. Okay. And then all you have to do is install that app and then go to add channels and add a channel and search for watches. The channel is watches. And when that pops up, add it, and then you're good to go. Let's see. Carlos, I don't encourage you, but Nika whiskey from Sapporo is a beautiful drop. There you go. Our wags. It is Kyle Jet. It's a guy thing. The bars are open with snowmobiles parked in the parking lot. There you go. Snap a photo next time, our wags, and share it. We love to see this stuff. Zello app is not for snowflakes. Yes, it is a pretty open forum. We haven't had to do any censorship in there yet. And so it's pretty much an open forum. We discuss a lot of things in there, and some of the folks have some fun in there. And so, yeah. And there's a photo shared. Let's pull this up. Somebody shared this photo, and that is yours truly wearing a sterling silver Tudor, a sterling silver Tudor. And as you can notice, I'm studying it. I'm looking close, and I'm saying to myself, "Oh my God, somebody actually purchased this watch." That's what I was saying to myself at the time when I was contemplating and studying that watch while wearing a faux pay on the other wrist. A faux pay on the other wrist. This was taken at Little Treasury Jewelers. And if you're not at their next event, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Their event is mandatory mandatory event. What else did we talk about? Oh, we talked about the Bluebird Wanderlodge. Let's show some more photos of that. Hold on a second here. Okay, we'll start with a little video here. Bluebird Wanderlodge. There's the mobile office. Junction box router, Sprint EVDO Revision A. Wilson Cellular 3-watt booster. Cockpit. So that was back in 2008. And it's another video, I guess. And this is the cozy rear compartment of the Bluebird bus. And here we are walking forward through the galley area. This is where we prepare the food. This is where we eat. It's kind of a mess right now. I have to apologize for that. We just pulled in and haven't organized. Walking on through. This is the bathroom here. Okay. And then this is what I really wanted to show you is the front workstation, the office area. And it's just big enough. This does not have slide outs. This is an old-fashioned bus with no slide outs, but it's plenty big enough here. And you can see I have a very comfortable Arion chair. And here's the workstation. And it just works out very nicely. All the comforts of home here in the Bluebird bus. This is a Bluebird Wanderlodge 1977 FC31. And believe it or not, that laptop is the laptop I'm using right now to show you the video. I still have that laptop. And this video was done in 2008. 2008. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I lied. That is not the same laptop because this one I got in 2010. So that was an earlier laptop. So yeah, FC31 is the model, 31-foot Bluebird Wanderlodge, built like an absolute tank. And we'll tell you why that is important in a moment. Yes, we will. That's what we'll do. We'll tell you why that is important. That's the bird's nest down in Fort Valley, Georgia. Georgia. That's where they were made, and they had a really nice area to park there. That's on the Ohio Turnpike when I was traveling. And that's a rack for the motorcycle that I had put on the back. Okay. A special drawer I had made for the desk with a Bluebird on it. So yeah. Yeah. The Bluebird Wanderlodge. We'll come back to that later. So here's the deal. Let's see. Just the bars are okay. Okay, let's get caught up. Craig, tell us, what is that tutor something kind of special from your point of view? It's special, all right. I spotted a croc in that video. Don't know what you would trade the Russells for croc. The Crocs are great for the beach. for in the sand and the beach and the salt water and all that, because when you leave the sand and all that, you can just rinse them out and they're just good to go. So Crocs are great for the beach. Yeah. So we use those for that purpose. Tim, are you on Zello? That's a good question. Wow, Craig, move to Los Angeles. It's free RV parking paradise. There you go. Just park right in the street. And probably you can just dump your raw sewage right in the street and everything. You don't even have to worry. Dave Williams just said, winter sports are great. Let's see, Kyle, I've downloaded it, but I haven't tried to use it yet. Yeah, you got to try. We have many parked in Venice. Visitors, right? Okay. Greetings, Craig. I emailed you a picture taken at the local bar hangout on the lake. You should put it in the watches channel, RWAGs. Share it in watches so I can show it there. But I'll pull up the email too. I get parking tickets for my car, but RV people can set up camp on the sidewalk and they're untouchable. That's amazing. That's amazing that they can get away with that. So here's the thing. Here's the reason why you don't want to buy a typical RV. Typical RVs are junk, okay? They are made to very poor standards. They are made to be used a couple of weeks a year as a vacation thing and then park the rest of the time. They are not robust, okay? For a quote RV to really be made properly, it needs to be made to commercial standards. It needs to be made to the standards that a typical boat would be made to, as far as the components inside and the construction and so forth. You know, boats take a pounding on the water, so they need to be made a certain way to hold up, right? A quote RV is typically a earthquake going down the road, right? It's like your house is constantly being hit by an earthquake. And so they need to be built to extreme standards. And that's what you had with a Bluebird Wanderlodge. Those things were built to extreme standards. When I tore out one of the forward couches to put that desk in there, it took me a day to tear that damn thing out. It was so well built and so put in there. It was insane how that thing was built. And that is actually the way you need to build them for them to hold up for decades going down the road. And that unit that I had was a 1977 model and mostly original. The guy that I bought it from did go through it and updated some things and replaced anything that was worn out and so forth. And he actually put a turbo diesel in it when it normally had a 3208 non-turbo diesel, and he upgraded the transmission, changed the rear end gearing so it would cruise at 78 miles an hour instead of like 60 miles an hour. So he did some major upgrades to it. He switched out the gasoline generator for a diesel generator. He spent about $65,000 going through the whole thing for about 4 years prior to me buying it. So it was good to go. And I used it for 15 years or so, trouble-free. And that's what happens when you get a commercial grade unit that's in really good shape. You can use it for decades, and it's not going to be a nightmare. It's not going to be an absolute nightmare. Okay, I got to catch up on the thing here. Tim, will be here when you get it. Cheetown's in the house. My friend in India tells me that GS doubled their MSRPs for everything there. Almost home. Hi, team. And Leslie in the house. So true. It pisses me off so much. Hello, Leslie and all. Leslie, let's see here. Damn, gee, that's sad. Something to do with exchange rates. Bree says hello. Craig, GS makes some 34 millimeter models acceptable for gentlemen. I had a 35.5 mil, the 038 that now Brianna has. I wouldn't want to go any smaller than that. So 35 mils, 35.5 mils in that range. For me personally, I wouldn't want to go any smaller than that. But if you have a smaller wrist, if you have a wrist like, 7 inches or less, then I think that would probably be acceptable. Hey, Bree, congrats again on the BTC conference win. And Carlos in the house, congratulations for your BTC tickets. Thank you, Jessica, everyone else who voted for me. I have to admit that we voted a lot of times for her. Does that mean we kind of cheated? Oh, well. Oh, well. It is what it is. Leslie's in the house. We had our Lexus towed 2 weeks ago. Had to pay $314 to get it back, plus a $95 parking ticket. Oh my God! And the damn RVers just sit there and poop on the ground and everything else, and nothing happens. Going to the Bitcoin conference is a dream come true. Bree Fit Dance in the house. Will this be your first time to Miami? I've never been there and would love to visit. Jason in the house. There's a 1992 Wanderlodge on eBay for $57K. Yeah, you have to really watch it. Some of the Wanderlodges, the used ones, are going to be in really bad shape. Some of them have been really let go. So if you wanted to buy a Wanderlodge, you want to buy one from somebody who was an absolute nutcase with maintaining it and keeping it inside in a garage. You don't want one that's been sitting outside for decades. I don't care how well built they are. Any vehicle goes downhill sitting outside. So mine had been garage kept since new, and I kept it in the garage, and it was the original Imron paint was still immaculate. You don't want one that's been repainted or any of that nonsense. You want one with all the original paint still in immaculate condition. That tells you it was pretty much well cared for. If it's a repaint, I would run for the hills. Brief It Dance is in the house. Jason, yes. And that goes for any automobile, by the way. If an automobile's had to be painted, it means it was either wrecked or it wasn't well cared for, or both. Jason, yes. First time in Miami, just been to Orlando. Okay. And Leslie, you should consider to trade that Lexus for a pair of Russell moccasins. And I think we will swing by Sarasota too, and check out Sarasota while we're in Florida. Bree, let me know in the comments if you think that would be a good idea. Let's see here. Will Craig go to the Bitcoin conference too? Yes. Yes, I'm planning on it. Leslie, I hope he does. I need security. Yeah, we're going to have a full security team there for Brianna. Leslie, we cannot disclose that without compromising the security. There you go. Hello at Crappy. Great to see you. Okay. Boozer's in the house. Craig, that's a great suit if you wanted to walk into a Rolex AD and ask for a job. There you go. It's actually not a suit. It's a sport coat. And I call this my Rolex vest because it is green. It's cashmere as well. This is cashmere and this is cashmere. So I'm warm and comfortable. Yes, I'm warm and comfortable today. You should come to Chicago, Craig. 90% of murders are unsolved, but the police ticketed my roommate for his car alarm going off longer than 3 minutes. Oh, God help us. God help us. Bree, when you can please at Craig's YouTube, somehow he does not see Crappy's chats. Oh, okay. Okay. Some people are very against replicas, but I used to buy them all the time for fun. I still have 2 of them from Thailand. Hey Crapster. Okay. I'm holding on to my Lexus indefinitely until I get an electric Toyota in the future. Yeah, I would keep the Lexus as long as you can keep it maintained and keep it running. Why not? Brief It Dance in the house. Scrappy Luxury is making comments. Maybe he needs to be unbanned. Well, how is he possibly banned if he's making comments? He can't be. If he's banned, he wouldn't be able to make comments. So I don't understand. I don't understand. Cheetown in the house. Craig, what do you think of this whole chip shortage situation? Well, we're going to have a lot more than just chip shortages. I mean, there's a lot of shortages, and this is why a lot of prices are going up. This is why we have inflation. And if they keep printing money like drunken sailors the way they are, and they keep locking down and regulating businesses and shutting down businesses and so forth, we're going to have a lot more than just chip shortages. So you guys remember me saying a couple years ago when this whole thing started, buy whatever you need now in the way of equipment, in the way of computers, in the way of anything that you think you need. Stock up on food. Remember I said this? Stock up on anything that doesn't perish, that doesn't go bad. I said because the prices are going to be going up. Remember I said all this? Prices have gone up like 25% in the last year. The government says 7%. That's BS. A lot of prices have gone up more like 25%. So if you listen to me, you save 25%. So how's that? How's that? A 25% discount. Plus some of the things that you could have gotten 2 years ago, you might not even be able to get now. You might not even be able to get them. Let's see here. Craig, do you think this whole no, maybe he's banned me. Maybe that's why I can't see the comments, but other people can see. Maybe he's banned me. Let's see here. Craig must have blocked Crappy a long time ago, and when he saw him, so Crappy is not blocked on his channel, but he's blocked from Craig seeing his comments. Craig must have blocked Crappy a long time ago. No, it's probably he blocked me, would be my guess. Bree, have you replaced your old car? Maybe he needs a wrench. Craig, I trust you have a stockpile of beans. I have quite a few. Yeah, I have quite a few. Bruiser, that is my thought too. Let's see. Leslie, I still have my Honda Accord, but it's a beater car. Physical appearance is not at its best. See, now she can drive that thing and just like swerve into people and everything else. She doesn't care because the whole side's wiped out, right? So I think it's great. I think it's great. The interior's still nice. It runs good. Just keep running it. Considering Washington is pushing for another war with Russia over Europe, most bogus POCUS country, the printing machines are going to go nuts. Cheetown in the house. There's in the house. How many sweet potatoes are on the menu tonight? I'm going to cook one. One. So what else? Darn it, I'm trying to remember what other controversies we had in the Watches channel that needed to be addressed. We've addressed Triforce Rich and his clothing decisions. He does have, at his defense, he does have a Oxford sport coat incoming. He has an Oxford sport coat incoming. And he's starting to rethink his decisions on the skinny suits. The skinny suits and the skinny jeans, he's starting to rethink his decisions on that. He's even considering buying a pair of Bill's khakis. And I might add that Kyle has ordered a couple of pairs of Bill's shorts. I didn't even know they made shorts, but he's ordered a couple of pairs of Bill's shorts, and there's some really nice looking ones on eBay. So maybe he can share a picture in the Watches channel of the pair of shorts that he ordered so we can show them on the channel here. I'll pull up a pair of actual Bill's khakis to show you. Oh, by the way, this is Bree's stunning strap, her strap that is, oh, there's my coat. There's my shearling coat for walking in the cold, made in the United States. And that's another look at her strap. The purple Stingray strap. I think it's cool. So let me see if I can find the bills. Okay, so here's me wearing a pair of Bill's khakis. with Lucchese boots. With Lucchese boots. Now, normally I would wear jeans with Lucchese boots, but I was just showing that it could actually be done. You could actually wear um, Bill's khakis with Lucchese boots. Now, it looks like my pants are shorter than they actually are because my leg is up. It pulls the pants up on my right leg there. You see how it's up like 4 inches off of the carpet. If my leg was down, it would be about 2 inches up. So you see the heel. You see pretty much the whole heel of the boot, which is about 2 inches. And then you see the front of the boot. And I think it works. I think you can definitely wear the Bill's khakis with the alligator. And of course, a safari shirt is always a classic. And don't get me started on the fedora. So yeah. What is how what is Washington? Somebody's mispronouncing it. Washington, there's no R. Washington. Some of us say Washington like there's an R in there. I don't know how we do that. Bree, we need you to solve Crappy's situation. R Wags in the house. I don't see Crappy's comments either, Carlos. Interesting. I nominate Crappy to get a not Crappy wrench. Jason's in the house. That Stingray strap is amazing. I want to get one for my O2. Don't covet. Come on. R Wags. If that is the case, I think Crappy has been targeted from those liberals. Boozers in the house. Craig, I recommend everyone here subscribe to the Crappy Luxury channel. He loves Trump. Okay, I'll subscribe. Email me the information. Did Indiana Jones, I guess you meant wear Bill's khakis. He wore pants that were similar to Bill's khakis, but no, they weren't Bill's khakis. Bill's khakis weren't even in business then. They only came into business about the year 2000 or so, roughly. Security check. Who cannot see Crappy shots? And what happened was Bill, the man that started Bill's khakis, he wasn't happy because he couldn't find a good pair of khakis. And so he set out to design a pair of khakis that were more like the original khakis, I guess, during World War II or whatever, like, back in the old days. And I guess he got a pair of old khakis somewhere that he really liked, and he duplicated them and went into business to manufacture them because he said, hey, nobody else is, so I might as well do it. And the rest is history. Security check. Who cannot see Krabby's chats? Over. Okay. I can see Crappy's chats. I don't see any type of crappy chat, says Durr. I regret to have voted for Obama once in 2012, but I voted for Trump twice. Okay. I see them, Craig. Okay. Craig, if you were a betting man, is your wager on Rogan getting canceled or not canceled? That's a very good question. They are really lining up the weapons. They're really going after him. If they don't get him canceled, then that will be a severe blow to the woke culture. There's an old saying, if you go after the king, don't miss, right? In other words, if you try to kill the king, you better kill him, right? Otherwise, your head's going to go off, right? Otherwise, you're done for. And I think it's very true. I think if they are using this much energy to go after Rogan and they fail and they don't take him down, then that'll be a real black eye on the woke, snowflake wimp culture, on the what I call the wimp culture. They're even worse than snowflakes. They're just straight up wimps. Let's see. His comments are visible on my screen. There you go. Durr's in the house. The Rock is catching a ton of heat by cancel culture right now, which is hilarious. That and Whoopi Crapberg. Well, here, the thing about Whoopi is they shouldn't have suspended her either. Okay. the comment she made has some validity in that I do not believe that Jews are considered a race, right? A lot of people can be Jewish of any race, right? You can be black, you can be Asian, you can be Jewish, right? I think it's a religion. Now, the Nazis did believe them to be, in effect, a race, right? So that's where she screwed up, is that from the point of view of the Nazis, they were, quote, an inferior race. And so the whole Holocaust was about race as far as the Nazis go. But as far as them actually going after a particular race that's actually a race of people, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Jewish is a race. I think that's a religion, right? So, I mean, isn't there a Webster's definition for what a race is? And I don't think they qualify. I think they're a religion. And so, yeah, if you're going after a particular religion, and that's discriminating against that particular religion, and doing horrific things to them is wrong, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is based on race. But the Nazis believed that they were a race, and basically Hitler referred to them as a race, right? So from the Nazi standpoint and from the Jewish people that were being victimized standpoint, it was definitely a race. It was two things. It was a race thing and an inferiority thing, that he thought they were inferior, right? And he just globbed them together as a race and as a group of inferior people. And so, there's a lot of gray area there, but I don't think she was necessarily wrong by saying it wasn't based on race. But she always says a lot of stupid things, and she probably didn't think that whole thing through and didn't explain it properly. But they still shouldn't cancel her, right? They shouldn't cancel her. I don't think they should cancel Rogan, and I don't think they should cancel her. I don't think they should cancel anybody. People should be allowed to say stupid things. I mean, we do it here on the channel all the time, right? Even though I'm 99.9% correct, there's that 1% of the time that there might be an error on the channel. Let's see. They're throwing everything they can at Rogan. Thoughts on AP watches? I was just never a big fan. I was just never a big fan. I think I would stick with Rolex, Grand Seiko, Omega, maybe some models of Patek Philippe if you really are a glutton for punishment, when it comes time to have them serviced. But these days, Grand Seiko is making so many just stunning watches, just over the top stunning watches that are also robust and reliable. I just don't see a need to take a risk with a piece that is going to potentially be expensive to maintain. So that's why I would buy a Lexus over a Mercedes or BMW. Same reason, right? I think the Lexus is a better car. So, but that may be just me. Believe it or not, all the neocons who pushed us into these expensive wars in the 2000s are now in the woke camp. Got you. I sent over an email of the shorts I've ordered. 2 pairs are Bills, 1 pair are Orlebar brown shorts. Rich recommended. Okay. All right, let's check the email here. And first off, here's the picture from R Wags. That looks like fun. That looks like fun. I like it. Great photo, too. He has an eye for photography. Yes, he does. All right, next. Okay, so here are the Bills, and I like them. That's a very conservative color that'll go with a lot of things. And yeah, I'm not so sure about those. Yeah, those look kind of wimpy. Wait, they were $129? Oh my God. No, that would be a hard pass on that. They look kind of wimpy and they're way too much money. Yeah, I would absolutely pass on those. And then the classic fit vintage twill short. That was $145? You've got to be kidding me. Um, okay. I guess. Hey, come on. Buy buy them off of eBay. Please, from now on, buy them off of eBay. Pay about $30. Um, you'll thank me in 10 years. Yeah. Okay. Durr's in the house. I don't think Whoopi should be suspended, but the fact that she did is just poetic justice for all the canceling she promotes. Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, they on that show, The View, I've seen part of it once, I think. I saw a clip from it or whatever. I mean, they are professional idiots. I mean, that's what they do on that show. They're all of the morons, and they do a good job of that. So I mean, my God, you suspend them for doing something moronic or idiotic. I mean, you wouldn't have a show. The whole show would be canceled, right? So, I mean, that's what they do. That's all they do. Carlos is in the house. I agree. As much as I hate previous behavior from Whoopi, I believe in freedom of expression, as she is wrong, and she recognized her huge mistake. Well, but I mean, she makes a lot of mistakes all the time. So if she spent a lot of time correcting her mistakes, she'd never be able to eat or sleep or anything because, I mean, my God, it would just go on and on and on. I mean, she's a basket case. I echo what Dirk just said. What bothered me about Whoopi's response was that I guess you meant the takeaway was, I won't talk about that anymore. This could have opened up a great chance for a tough but productive discussion. But no, Cheetown in the house. Durr's in the house. Whoopi got a taste of her own medicine. A spoonful of bullshit helps the medicine go down. She corrected herself and seemed genuine correction. While I do not like her, I try to be fair. Okay. I do not want to measure them by the same measure stick that they measure me. You want to be fair. That's right. We're all fair. But it is fair to say that there are a bunch of blooming idiots on that show. That is fair to say. That's accurate. I think that's the point of the show is idiocy, right? Isn't it? Otherwise, the producer's doing a bad job if that's not what he's trying for, because that's what he's achieving. Her takeaway: the problem with all this cancel crap is it's about shutting down conversations, and that's toxic for everyone. When we stop talking, we start fighting. There you go. That's right, though. That's right. We should be able to talk these things through. But in the end of the day, if I say something, it's absolutely correct. 99, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but RWAGs, you keep the statistics. Is it 99.9% of the time I'm correct, or is it 99.95% of the time? Anyway, for the vast majority of the time, I'm 100% correct. So all they need to do is go and just watch these shows, and then there won't be any of this controversy because I'm 100%, well, close to 100% correct. How come this keeps slipping down? I gotta fix this. I gotta refold this so that it doesn't keep slipping down in the pocket. It was slipping down too far in the pocket. So let me fold it so it's up a little more in the pocket. There you go. Just in case I need to grab that, I need it sticking out a little more. Let's see. Liberals can't have a conversation because they are always wrong. So the only way they can get away with it is by canceling those who are right. And it's starting to turn out with this whole shutdown thing and everything that they were just as wrong as I thought they were all along. The whole damn thing did more harm than good, which is funny because that's what Trump said. That we can't have the cure be worse than the disease, right? And by God, that's what they've done. They've had the cure worse than the thing. They've done tremendous damage. David's in the house. Great photo. R-Wags looks similar to the horses tied up at a saloon in Arizona. The problem, Craig, was that Whoopi was a big advocate to firing conservatives for
Dear Stiefel, this is Nancy. I am not wearing my dentures. I am ready to meet you. You know what I do with all that ice cream I have in my huge refrigerators.
There you go, Nancy Pelosi on the Watches channel. That is very interesting. Big advocate of firing conservatives for saying the same types of controversial comments. That's right. Thanks, David Williams. Snow and cold can be lots of fun. Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I wore Rolex Steel Sports for 35 years, but now enjoy the Datejust and Explorer 1 and the standard Oyster cases more than any other watches. Let's refer to it as the Explorer, because technically that's what it is. It's the Explorer. There is no Explorer 1. There's an Explorer and then an Explorer 2. So let's say the Explorer, and I agree with you. I'd rather have the Explorer than the Explorer 2, for example. And the Datejust is always the way to go. A Datejust is always a good move. Especially the 36 mil Datejust. I don't go for the other one. That's kind of silly. Kyle's in the house. Craig, I will let you know how they all are. Okay. R-Wags, that is very true, but we are not like them. While I might be very wrong about that. Okay. Whoopi's mom made a mistake by not swallowing. Oh, God. Tim Dillon said that whoever produces The View must be a misogynist because out of all the great, brilliant women in the world, none of them are on The View. Good point. It's he has to be doing it on purpose. He has to, that has to be his goal. To have a bunch of like people that are about as smart as a fire plug. So yeah. Instead of concealing Whoopi, they can't canceling Whoopi. They can't just cancel The View entirely. Trash TV. Maury Povich is better. Yeah, but that's what the people like. They like the trash TV, the people that are still watching TV. The 5 people out there that are still watching, that's what they like. 0.95. Okay, so 99.95%, says Ray. He's keeping the statistics. I'm correct. Ray, we miss you from the Watches channel. You got to come back in the Watches channel. You don't have to hang out there all the time. Just come in and check things. If you come in, you can play back what's happened in the past. You just hit the little play arrow and it'll play right on through anything that you missed. It's like somebody said the other day, it's like listening to a podcast. Here it is. Here's the Watches app. Somebody said it's like listening to a podcast, right? And see what I do. If I click on this one right here, if I hit play, watch how it'll play through a couple of them.
Sorry, I have been infiltrated. Sorry. This is Carlos. Please, we don't encourage.
And I can hit pause that, and I skip down and play this one again.
Dear Stiefel, this is Nan.
I'll go ahead and stop it. But see, you can sit there and play it, and it's like having a podcast. And you never know what you're going to hear. You never know what you're going to hear. Let's see. Bruiser says, I understand where she was coming from, but I feel like she's too old to have made such a mistake. See, I don't know that it was such a mistake. I mean, they either are or are not a race. Now, maybe she should have explained herself more. Maybe she should have said, yes, of course, the Nazis thought of them as a race, but they're actually a religion. I mean, I think words do have to have meanings. that's one thing I don't like about the left is they will hijack words and add a new meaning to it that has nothing to do with it. And if you do that, how can you communicate? If the meaning of a word is fluid, depending on what what point you're trying to make or what agenda you have, if all of a sudden the words have various meanings, depending on who's saying it, for example, then how can we possibly communicate? So let me know. Am I wrong on this? Are Jews a race? I don't think they are. I think that's a religion, isn't it? Or am I wrong about that? Here we go. The View should be called the Brainless Housewives Show. Our Wags in the House. Craig, at last check, you were 99.8% correct. Okay, 99.8. Ray has 99.95, so he has me even more correct than our Wags, but we'll take the average between those two. She got used to being able to say anything she wanted and being protected by the left. Hello, Adur's in the house. Whoopi should start exploring being unemployed. Lance can call in Derek and we are getting close to wrapping up. It's been an hour. We've been live for an hour, including the pregame show. They should replace Whoopi with Ivanka Trump. Oh yeah, Ivanka is smoking hot. I like Ivanka. Craig, do you remember? See, I would vote for some of the smoking hot Republican gals. Who's that one from South Dakota or whatever, Nome or whatever the heck those are? They've got some hotties in the Republican Party, and I would vote for some of them. I think that'd be cool. What do you guys think? A hottie for president? What do you guys think about that? Isn't Goldberg a Jewish name? Is she related to Dogman? She changed her name. That wasn't her real name. So she appropriated the name. Derek, I don't think people refer to men as pretty. Yeah. Let's see. Jews are both an ethnic group and a religion. How's that possible? Maybe, I guess. But an ethnic group isn't a race, right? So yeah. So I guess what you're saying is there's an ethnic group that were originally Jews, and then somebody else who's not part of that ethnic group can become Jewish, can join the religion. So anybody can join the religion, even if you're not part of the ethnic group, right? But if you're an ethnic group, is that considered a race? I don't think so, right? We need clarification. We need clarification in the chat. Carlos is in the house. I assume black people see non-black people as a race, as probably happens the same with us, that we see dark skin as only one race. Yeah, but what we see people as shouldn't have anything to do with it. There should be an actual definition for race. Isn't there a definition for the word race? If there isn't, then how can we possibly communicate? That's what I'm saying. Words have to have meanings, otherwise we're screwed, is my personal opinion. Cheetown in the house. Being Jewish is actually a multiracial identity. Ethiopian Jews are Black African. Yemenists are Arabian, etc. Okay, etc. Okay, so you can't really say then that Jews are a race. They're made up of a bunch of different races, apparently. But again, I mean, that doesn't mean that Jews are not considered a race. I don't know. I'm asking the question here. I think they are not. But what is the definition of a race? What are the races? Does Webster's list various races? And are Jews included in that list? Somebody must know the answer to this question. Come on, guys. Our Wags is in the house. Christy Nome, South Dakota. Oh yeah, she would get my vote. She didn't lock down, correct? So she's smoking hot and she didn't lock down. What is not to like there, Craig? I don't see race. Okay. It's an ethnic group because Jewish peoples in Europe have their own history, language, culture, clothing, and cuisine. You don't have to be a believer in a high power and aren't. Okay. So if you discriminated against them, does that make that racism? But see, Hitler was discriminating against anybody that was Jewish, whether they're part of a particular ethnic group or not. He didn't care. As long as they were Jewish, he sent them to the chambers, right? So we still have the quandary here. Let's see here. And many aren't, okay. There's in the house. A race is a competition to see who can get to the finish line the fastest. A race that Whoopi is in, she won, and it was the quickest to the unemployment line. Leave it to Durr to solve it. Just solve the problem, just like that. Carl, I agree. From your point of view, and me, your point of view, you and me are the same race. What are the races? I mean, I guess that's what I'm asking. What are the races? Carl's in the house. Yes. A Jew's salvation is based on being a member of the tribe. God's covenant was with the Jewish people. That's why it's so important for them to keep genealogical records. Okay. Does that make them a race? Based on the modern definition of the word race. I have Black friends who claim Jews don't acknowledge converted Jews who are not descendants of the Jews of biblical times. Okay. Interesting. Out of curiosity, from your point of view, are you and me the same race? There's in the house coach. Yes, we both belong to the race of the 12-inch dong tribe. Wow. That's quite a race. I'll tell you what. No wonder Durr has to wear Bill's khakis with a lot of extra fabric. Some of us have that problem where we have to wear pants with a lot of extra leeway there. Let's see. Durr is laughing. Carlos is laughing out loud. And is the Wrench Gang the most superior race? Uh-oh. Now, we can't be talking about superior races here. We are going to get canceled. Although we probably are. We're pretty robust, pretty amazing. Negroid, Caucasianoid, and Mongoloid are mixed. I don't know what the hell that is. Okay. All right. I couldn't get the answer to the question. I tried on the channel to get the answer to the question. What are the races? What are they? And nobody put it in the chat. So I guess we're going to have to revisit this at another time. But remember, Zello app. Join the Zello app. You go and you download in the store, in the app store on iOS, you search Zello, Zello, and it's going to be described as a walkie-talkie app. Install that on your phone. It's free. Set up an account. It's free. And then once you're in there, logged in, go to add a channel and add the Watches channel. This is not rocket science, guys. Add the Watches channel and then hang out with us. That was the answer, Craig. We can't end. Carlos, would you look at me with that honey eyes if I had a darker skin. What about Latinos? Okay, there you go. Well, see, this is why I asked the question, right? Are Asians a race? Is that whole group of people a race, right? What is considered a race, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Thanks, Craig. Interesting broadcast. Great topics. Our Wags in the house. He's in motion, making things happen. And Latino usually is mixed, at Mongoloid and Caucasianoid. Most is a mix these days. Okay. Racial categories in the U.S. are outdated and a total mess. There says, I love Asians. Hot, hot, hot. Latinos are conquistador blood. All right, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to continue this discussion on the Watches channel. Okay, on the Watches channel, and you notice how Rich wasn't in here. Okay, because he didn't want to acknowledge that even my 40-year-old sport coat, okay, my 40-year-old sport coat trumps his skinny sport coats. Trumps his skinny sport coats. He didn't want to address that situation. And somebody says, how did we get here? All right, guys and gals and everybody else, thanks for watching. We are out of here.